I prefer having it just be serious from the get-go, like, do you like me or not? Like, are we boyfriend and girlfriend or not? Do you love me or not? 1, 2, 3, let's go! Hello everyone, my name is Edwina. I am a co-founder of APOP, Au Pair Au Paris, which is a channel we started to help au pairs in Europe form community and have some sense of normalcy about the experience you're going through. In today's video, I wanted to talk a little bit about what I've observed about dating in the US since it's been a long time since I have, and then what I kind of miss about dating in France. And then I kind of wanted to like start with the things that I miss dating in France and then end with 3 things that I really don't miss to kind of give you some insight depending on where you are in the country and what point of the dating sphere you're at. Talk about what you should be grateful for and maybe what you have to look forward to. But I also wanted to change it up because I like sitting down talking to camera, but I also like filming out and about, so please excuse me while I go run and get coffee and film in my car and maybe film while I'm walking. Vlogging in public is not fun, but I need to be outside. Quarantine is driving me nuts. Please comment below if you are also going nuts in quarantine. So yeah, that is the way this video will go, and we'll see what I talk about and what comes out of my mouth. Okay. To give some context as well, like me moving to a new city means that I've been going on lots of dates. Also typical Oregon fashion, it's raining so hard right now. I've been going on a lot of dates, and in quarantine too, it's kind of how I've been keeping social. But I've also been going, it's been FaceTime dates. So I make people, like, we talk, I'm on Bumble. If I were in France, I'd probably be on a more French dating app like Happen. Bumble I used a little bit. Hinge was also kind of popular in France, so I would kind of use those. They were more like English speaking. I've been going on lots of FaceTime dates to like keep social and like get back in the dating pool and things like that. And the first thing that I remember about dating in France that I really miss is I feel like things are just more upfront and matter of fact and open, and there's a little bit less like, there's small talk because it's like fun dating and stuff in France, of course, but at the same time there's not as much small talk. So I've like seen a few people in the US so far, and it just feels like we're really just taking our time to like go to a certain different level, emotionally speaking. And I just feel like in France it was kind of like, these are my religious views, these are these views, these are those views, and this is just who I am, and these are my friends. And like everything is so open and upfront and honest from the get-go that I just feel like it feels a bit different to me. I can't put my finger on exactly the difference. Maybe it's just like the type of people that I've been seeing. That's the caveat to every single point I'm going to be making in this video. Like, it might just be that I dated a certain type of person in France and I've been going on dates with certain types of people in the US, but it really feels like culturally speaking we're so slow in the dating world here to like really get to know one another on another level. And if we are fast to get to know each other on another level, I've just seen a correlation between that and like very intense people that I just don't want to be dating. So that's thing 1. Okay, off to the coffee shop. I did it. Number 2 thing that I've noticed is super different is that in France, when you're in a relationship, you're in a relationship. Like, I feel like it's so funny that French people have this reputation of like dating so many people or being cheaters even, I feel, is a reputation. Wherever that comes from, maybe there's like truth to that. In my experience, I feel like French people almost take relationships more seriously, more like faster. For example, they say like boyfriend and girlfriend, they use that label a lot faster, and they say I love you a lot faster, in my experience. They have the mentality of, yeah, the relationship might last like 2 months, 1 month, a couple weeks, whatever, but for that time, you are my boyfriend or you are my girlfriend, and so we're gonna use that term. Whereas here in the US, it feels like we are building up to this conversation about what this label is that we're putting on ourselves, and it feels like we've worked to achieve this label, and therefore I just don't want to like drop everything, because it's like such a slow and gradual process of getting to this next step. I prefer having it just be serious from the get-go, like, do you like me or not? Like, are we boyfriend and girlfriend or not? Do you love me or not? Maybe like in a way that takes the romance out of it, but for me, it just like calmed my anxiety. Knowing that the person that I'm with is serious from the get-go and is going to be there and is a stable presence and like is fine with me getting called their girlfriend and saying I love you and being like intimate in that way, it really calms me. And it's something that I super wish was a thing here. Hopefully it will be one day with the right person, but it's, in terms of general dating culture, I just don't think it's a thing. Third thing about dating French men, which is very different, is that they are more emotionally available than typical US guys, I think. I'm not trying to play into stereotypes, but I also have seen a pattern of French men are like always close to their moms. Always, it feels like. And there's just a certain like emotional softness there that I really appreciated and loved. I feel like American culture is so much about being this like muscly, like sports, you know, that kind of a thing. And I was stronger than one of my French exes and he was okay with that, you know, like there's no intimidation factor there, and it just makes me feel more free and able to be like an independent, strong woman next to someone who's secure in their own definition of masculinity. It's like makes conversation so much more interesting when you're talking about emotions, because that's all I love to talk about. I love deep conversations. I hate small talk, so that type of a thing is something that is very much missed in the US. Now that I've said all of the things that I do miss, I want to cover all of the 3 main things that I don't miss about dating in France. First big one is that while everything is like emotionally very like honest and open from the get-go, I don't know if it was me playing into this stereotype or what, but I did feel like there was a bit of pressure to go faster, like physically, if you catch my drift. And I just like taking things really slowly. And so for me, having those boundaries is really important. And I set them, and I try to be strong about them, and it's easier for me to be strong about them in the US than it was for me in France. Just like, not that I did anything that I didn't want to, but I just felt like there was more pressure to do that. So I had to be stronger and stand my guard and have stronger boundaries in France than I do in the US, where I feel like depending on the person, and depending on like where you're at and like what type of thing you're looking for. And I think it also has to do with me, like I'm more used to dating by American standards sometimes, or like I default to my American standard in that regard. So I don't know, that's my one don't miss that. Don't miss the pressure at all. Thing two is don't miss the clubbing and techno music. Like that sucks. I'm sorry, French boys, but like, God, one of my exes like loved going to clubs and loved like just raging to like techno music. Yeah, like I remember being at a techno like club with one of my American friends, and we were laughing because people were like screaming about the music being so good and like changing to a new song, and we both looked at each other and were like, the song changed, we didn't even realize. So I'm really just not into that stuff, and I'm really glad that I don't have to stay up partying until 5 in the morning anymore. I'm on like American party standards, which is like, we party early here. We start at like, what, 7, 8 for dinner, and then maybe go till like 2 in the morning. And if you go till 2, that's like a good party. And maybe you stay up talking like with a group of smaller friends later, but I love that schedule of like party life if you do go to a party. I'm not a huge partier, but like, gosh, I cannot do the techno raging music. Don't miss that at all. Don't miss that at all. Third thing that I don't miss about dating in France is that I felt like I met my significant other's friends and family really fast. And at the time I thought it was really endearing and sweet, but it made it, in a way it feels more healthy to do that, you know? So I'm like kind of divided on this because it feels like, oh, I'm dating you as a whole person, I'm dating you with your family and with your friends, and I'm seeing you in like all different types of situations. But in a way it made it hard to break up, or it made it hard to like, it was just a lot fast, you know? Like I want the emotional intimacy, but I don't want other parts of like going deep fast. Like I don't want to like go shopping with your mom after knowing you for 3 weeks. Which is what I did. And I did like it. I don't know, I'm like I'm so wishy-washy on this because there are parts that I like and I really love my ex's family, but I think it just makes ending things and analyzing things and seeing things like just as you and him or you and them, just trying to analyze that, it's so much easier and so important to do when it's just you and that other person. And when you bring other aspects of their life and their support system into that analysis, it just makes it so much harder to like think and see clearly of like what you want and what you don't want, and then make a decision from there. So I really appreciate taking my time to like get to know someone's family and friends even, so that's something that I don't necessarily miss. Okay, with that, those are the things that I miss and don't miss about dating in France. Please wish me luck for dating in the US. Literally put a comment down below. Pray for me, send me your good vibes. Like, it's fun, it's keeping me social during quarantine, like I said, so I'm actually really, really enjoying it. And I enjoy going on FaceTime dates. It's like, I don't like you, bye, kind of a thing. So let me know your dating experiences this last year. It's been a hard one for all of us, I think, and let me know some of the differences that you've spotted between your culture and the culture of where you are in au pair or where you moved abroad. And like and subscribe if you like videos like this, and we will continue to make them. And that's all for now. Ciao!